Welcome and thank you for choosing freeconferencecall.com.
You're welcome.
You're helping people around the world communicate for free. If you are the host, press now. Otherwise, please wait and you will be joined into the conference. Please announce yourself.
Pat Helmers.
Hello, Pat. Bruce Jones here.
Bruce, how are you today?
Not too bad.
I was just thinking about you today.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
starting.
there's always every once in a while I was like, yeah, that's right. I got to chat with Pat again. It's like never over, you know. But
It's never over. I was thinking of I was looking at my Google Analytics because I'm starting to get data in since I turned them on, and
good. Yep.
and it's
Did we ever install Keyword Hero in Google Analytics?
we did.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. And now you can see the phrases that people are searching that found you.
Although not many people are finding that website yet. So
Yeah.
so like
Understandable.
so I just wrote another Medium article and published it today, and and that's helping to drive. I've gone out of my way and been reaching out to people to
Yeah, as
to
long as you got a
connect.
following on Medium, then I guess. But otherwise, then I would say the best place to put the blog post is on your blog itself.
Well, I'll do that. I'm going to do that. I need to do both. What I commonly would do is rewrite it a little bit, change it a little bit, and then put it on there too.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, that's.
Got another visitor here too. It sounds like.
I heard a ding. Who's there?
This is Mike Sullivan.
Oh, hey, Mike. How you doing? Oh, I
Good. Yourself?
heard another ding.
Nancy Caston.
Oh, hey, Nancy. Long time no see.
Oh, I know. How are you?
I feel like we're becoming.
Yesterday.
I feel like we're becoming an item now.
Aren't you funny? Well, there's lots to do out there.
I just had Nancy on the. I just interviewed Nancy for the podcast yesterday, and we talked about listening and asking good questions and how to differentiate yourselves by asking great questions. It was a fun chat.
Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it.
Yep.
I loved it.
Yeah, we went. Yeah, it was really, really good. We ended up talking for the whole hour. I think the episode itself was probably 25 minutes. But you and I just kept we just kept babbling.
Because there's so much to talk about
Yeah.
regarding sales. I don't think it ever ends.
I don't think it ever ends.
No, because, and I think it's also part of the human condition that, the kinds of things we encounter in sales, that's what we encounter in our lives. Just communicating with people, trying to influence decisions. Gee.
Well,
We do that at home.
I wonder if I could get your take on this, Nancy. I once was listening to Econ Talk. It's a podcast on economics. And one of the guests there once said that something that makes humans different from all the other animals in the world, all the other species, was that we have a very clear sense of trade. That if I get that we can in our mind envision that something's a fair trade, like I give you an apple and you give me a banana. Other animals are not very good at doing that. They're conceptualizing that. They can do, some primates can do you scratch my back, I scratch yours. They can do something similar, but not to that same degree. And that's what really makes us different. And that thing that causes that trade, sometimes it's not clear to the other person. That's where sales comes in.
That's where sales comes in. It comes in meaning that trade and maneuvering that, influencing that trade.
Right, because sometimes it's not crystal clear that it's a good trade at first.
that again. I didn't catch it.
So sometimes,
First?
it's not really clear that that's a good trade. That's a good exchange of value, and that's where selling comes in.
Oh, yes. Yes. But there's where the communication challenges come in. I know I always bring it back to that, but that's part of the challenge. And I was doing some things over the last couple of days, and I'm looking at how information is written in the financial services industry. And I'm looking at this stuff going, wait a minute, I don't get it. And it's a classic thing. This is an industry that wants to sell you all the time.
Yes.
And yet it gets confusing. Very confusing.
Yeah.
And even the way one company has a platform, the way another company has a platform are totally different.
Yeah.
And there isn't, I'm not saying everything needs to say the same thing. I'm not saying, commoditize it, although a lot of it is. But yeah, you brought up a really interesting point. So where I think also as primates, we use our intuition. And I think that's part of what you're talking about, is the ability to use intuition, to think that or perceive something as something of value.
Yeah. I wonder if
What do you think of that?
it's language, because our language is so much richer than we can express things in ways that other. Well, of course, I don't know about that because we don't speak the language of birds. Who knows how? It could be very rich, and we just don't know it.
Right.
I'm not so certain of that. I'm not.
I'll have to look at the neuro stuff on that.
Yeah.
There's a lot written these days. So
Yeah.
on that, I'd have to look that up. I'm not up on it.
So
what are we babbling about today?
well, the first thing to do is, why don't we go around, everybody say hello, introduce themselves, and say what they're going to do for Memorial Day weekend. Because this is not an ordinary Memorial Day weekend, I don't think. I think we're going out to the lake where we commonly go to, but there's no swimming, and I don't think the beach is going to be. I'm not certain what the situation is going to be like. That's what I'm doing this weekend. Could everybody go around and say who they are and what they're doing this weekend?
Well, this is Mike Slowick, and I'm going to camp out at Backyard State Park with beer.
At where?
Backyard State Park.
Backyard?
Backyard State Park. Yep.
I've never been there. I'm glad they're open.
Yeah, no swimming though. Sorry.
No swimming. How about you, Bruce?
I guess I'm just going to be business as usual. I think you're the first person that brought to my attention that this weekend's any different than any other weekend.
Is it? It is. It's a 3-day weekend.
Yay.
Next, who else?
All the days just blend together for me.
Who else is on the line? Who else is on the line? You're working on the house, Ethan. Next.
Hey, Pat, it's Sean.
Hey, Sean. Good. What are you doing this weekend?
Well, I have no idea.
You know, it starts tomorrow.
Sure.
It's.
I know. There's always ongoing, we're working on some reports and things like that. So I'll do a little bit of that here and there. And then, but we'll take some time here. So, but obviously we're not going too far. So,
No.
No, not too far. But I saw your headline for today's session, and I thought, okay, at least if I can get some more insight about this, I think that'd be a good thing.
We're gonna I got a couple thoughts on this on video emails, and I got asked about that. Actually, Brad Woody is Brad on the call? Looks like he was asking me all about it, and I got some thoughts on that, and I would like to chat some about that. Who else? Nancy, what are you doing this weekend?
I'm seeing a couple of girlfriends for dinner tomorrow night, and we're staying outside and social distancing and all of that. So that's really exciting. I haven't seen them in 2 months. And then on Sunday, we're having friends over, social distancing, just a couple, social distancing in the backyard under the umbrella. And otherwise, it's going to be doing some Zoom with family, like my daughter in Australia.
Awesome. Anybody else want to share?
Is Brian on the line?
It doesn't look like it. Not today. So why don't we move to the first topic we got on the list here is that this week's episode was about video emails. Matthew Barnett was he's an Aussie guy, and he talked about how he was taking the ferry across in Sydney Harbor, and he pulled out his phone while the Opera House was behind him, and he did a video of to some guy, some prospect he was trying to make a deal with. He sent it to the guy, and the guy loved it. In fact, he emailed him back and said, "I really liked the video. I couldn't hear what you were saying, but it was because it was so unique to what you had done. I feel like we should get together for a meeting." And it kind of hit on him. And I'm not sure if he's the founder or a co-founder or what, but he's got this company called Bonjoro, and and this is what the software does. And he's a strong proponent of that. So my first question is, has anybody ever done, I have done this before, but before I speak about what I've done, has anybody else ever done this? Given this a go? Given this a try?
Not me.
Nope, not here. No, lots of emails, but not video. So that's part of the answer.
So I
haven't done this, and I listened to the podcast, and it wasn't clear how exactly did he send that video, and what was his message that he got the guy's interest.
I don't know what he was selling to that guy, but it was something along I don't know, but I'm certainly was his pitch, and I think the video really had nothing to do with the pitch, other than it was kind of scenic. What I've seen, what I saw a guy do to me, I've had a few of these, and they show up in the email, and it's usually there's a frame of the person in it, and sometimes they're holding up a sign, and in order to prove that it's a unique and an individualized email, it'll say something like, "Hey Pat," it'll be like on a marker board, "Hey Pat," and then when you click on it, there'll be a little message, and it's somehow contextualized around me. And it would be something probably like along the lines, for me, it'd be, "I was listening to your podcast. I heard this, I heard that. I have a feeling that it'd be good if we partner, if we had a relationship, if I got on your podcast, if you were on my podcast," whatever the thing is. And they are somewhat interesting. But lots of times when you click on them, it forces you to go to another place to watch it, like maybe another tab. And I'm not certain what they look like on a phone when you click on them. But that's the whole point. The whole point is to stand out, which is what true differentiation is about, which is what brand is all about. And that's that.
And inside of LinkedIn Mobile, there's a way of sending a voice message, so someone could just, they send a message, they push a button, and they hold the button while they talk, and then you receive the audio file of that. Someone just sent me one of those this morning, saying like, "Oh, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you, but I'll get back to you, sometime in the future year or something like that."
Oh, I'm really glad you brought that up, because by listening to that podcast, it gave me the idea that for a lot of the prospecting that I do, I should be sending little baby podcasts.
Yep.
And in fact, I did one, and maybe I'll play one. It's only like 50 seconds, but it sounds like something like, it starts with some music, and it's actually not very hard for me to quick record it, stick some music in there, and make it sound like a little podcast. And I think what's powerful about that is it's my brand.
Right.
You can also do that in LinkedIn. There's a way that if you press the button, you can speak to it. You can leave a little message for it. WeChat, you can do it on a WeChat. We used to do that all the time when we lived in China. We would like leave these little audio clips back and forth.
There's Marco Polo also.
Marco Polo. Could you tell us about that?
I worked with some people who prefer to use Marco Polo, so they can call you and leave a video and a quick message. You would see them, their face.
Oh,
And I'm old school, so I didn't want to do it, but it was kind of fun because you could actually see somebody's face and hear their message.
and this was like a voicemail somehow?
A little bit closer. Google it because it was a young group a couple summers ago, and actually I just looked it up because I forgot. But yeah, MARCO space Polo.
Huh. And how did you send these? You said you left a message. Was it like a voicemail?
It's an app. It's an app.
Huh.
It's an app. You can leave a voicemail, but your face will be there while you talk. I mean, you make a video of your voicemail.
What if people don't have the app that you're sending it to?
It's free too.
What if the people that you're sending it to don't have the app?
You have to have the app. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
It's not mass marketing.
right.
So once you get your client base and a new product is coming out, it would be, okay, yeah, there's a lot out there. And hi, I'm Vicki. I was a little late. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. We're glad to have you here. We were talking all about you while you were gone.
That's good. Publicity is good publicity.
Yes. So I have two example tools that I've used in the past. The first one I wanted to bring up is called Loom, Loom. And I think you can do Loom, Loom.
Yep.
I've used that before.
Oh, so you have used it.
Yeah. So I only ever did the free version, but it worked okay. So I was able to do screencasts with a little circle. You could adjust the size of the circle by how big you want it to be, and your webcam is on your face while you're talking. But the main thing is people are looking at your screen.
Yeah. But the real power of it is it does you can leave a video message.
Yeah, you would be able to do that with something to show. You could, I guess the way I used it before was I'm a web guy, search engine optimization stuff, and I was trying to tell somebody how to fix something. So I just open Loom and walk through here's what it looks like. Here's the place where you need to go. Put a check mark right here, and then save, and then send it to them.
Right.
So that worked pretty good.
Yeah. I have active campaign for my email autoresponder tool. If I ever have support questions with them, that's what they do. They'll make a little video and say, click, 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 click. And it's really a fast way. And you go, oh, that's how you do it. And they're doing it on your account, which is cool.
Are they talking in their voice, or they're just showing you, like, just the view of it?
Often they're not talking.
Even easier then.
Yeah.
They don't even have to be from America to show you that now.
No. But I know they're from Chicago. They're all a bunch of Chicago people at companies in Chicago. Yeah. Which I didn't know when I first started using them, that they were so close to me. But
That is that's a good, something good to put out there too. So you want to know where they're from, who you're working with.
yeah, I used to use Aweber, and I don't know where they were from. Were they from Salt Lake City? Or were they from New York? I don't remember. Okay, so the other tool that's useful, and I've used this one before too. It's called Screencastify. It's a Google plugin. And again, you can make a little video and embed it into an email and then send the email. And it could be your webcam. You could also just grab a section of your desktop, like what Bruce was saying before, and then you click the record button, and as soon as it's done, it says you can trim it one way or another, and then you just click send, and it'll give you the link, the URL link, and you just stick that in your email. That's a couple cool tools.
And that's pretty user friendly.
It's unbelievably user friendly, extremely user friendly.
What was that called again?
Screencastify, SCREEN, cast CASTIFY.
Hey Pat, is there any way you could send out these tools? Because people on this call.
Yeah, what I could do is I'll probably put it in the show notes of the live YouTube video that's running right now, that's recording this. But maybe I could put them in next week's email that I send out.
That'd be cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I could do. I could do that too. I don't know if you guys read those emails. Sometimes I could see that only 20-30% of the people on the list read them. So.
The emails that you sent out for this, I read them. I'd like you to put the agenda on there so we can prep.
Yeah.
So Pat, and I know we talked about. I'm sorry.
Real quick, 20 to 30%. That's a good number.
I know. I wish it was 100.
That's all I have.
We all do, Pat.
Right? It says
Remember
I don't want the.
I keep talking at the wrong time.
It's okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say, remember we had chatted about a calendar that people could, get the number and just add it to their calendar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you had that going, then you could just go and put the notes or paste the links right inside of there. Here's the things we talked about. You could just find it in the calendar.
Yep.
Screencastify looks like because you can embed it in the email, it can be customized to one or it can be made for a group, larger audience, any way you want. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
I think very similar to Loom, except for Loom just self-hosts it. It gives you a link.
Okay.
I think it's been a while since I've used Loom, but I think the video actually plays. I should be clear here. I use the Google Mail reader, the Gmail reader, but I think in the tab it actually plays the video in the email. Screencastify, when you click on the link in the email, it pops you to a new tab.
Yeah, those things matter in terms of just think about the user interface. I mean, those things, they're little things, but they matter. I think they do. Do you have a sense of what your readers like? Just using something as simple as that, do they want to see it in the email? Do they want to go? Are they open to the tab? Do you have a sense of that, Pat?
Yeah, I didn't like that it did that. I agree. I think these little things matter.
Yeah.
But maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I questioned. I don't know if this is a good idea, to be honest. It was fun to have the guy on the episode and talk about it, but I'm not certain it's a good idea, which is kind of why I want to talk about it today. Does it make it seem more authentic that somebody sent you a little video? Does it motivate you to reach back out of them? Because that's what this is all about. This is about a cold emailing somebody.
Yeah. Well, Pat, again, as you said all along, that big word differentiation. If there's a key prospect, obviously you can't mass market this to everybody on the bloody planet.
Right.
If there's a key prospect that you want to get out there, like this guy did, he's on a bloody boat in the harbor in Sydney, and he put a little sign there saying, "Hey, John, been trying to reach you. I've got a great idea. I think we could absolutely talk. Well, why not?
Yep.
But why not? You haven't been able to reach the guy anyway. What do you get to lose?"
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how he embeds the emails. Is just a very short video that's a attached file, or is it
Yes.
linked to something? Or
Very short, 40 seconds.
all right.
Just like you would embed a YouTube video on your web page, it doesn't live on your web page. It lives on YouTube on their server, but there's just a window on your page viewing it. So it's the same thing like on your email.
Okay. Yeah, I tried sending some videos, and they all came in. I had to lower my camera quality because they all came in over 25 megabytes. And then I had to send a link to Google Photos, and then click on a link, got the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't think you'd want to pass the video file within the email like as an attachment or something. I think it'd be better to live somewhere else and just show it in the body of the email. But that's how it's made, I guess.
But it's something you can do where it actually shows up as a video window as opposed to just a link. I feel like getting a colder lead to click on a link is a pretty heavy ask.
But like what Mike said, if you've been trying to get to these people for a while, that might be the right thing to motivate them. Especially if you, like I said, what the Loom guys would commonly do is they would hold a little board up that would say, "Hey, hello, Pat." So you would look at that and you go, they took some time to do that. They took a little bit of extra effort to do that. Maybe I should give them a shot.
Maybe just you realizing that they did so much work, out of just guilt or whatever reason, you'll give them more of the time of day since they're trying so hard.
I've gotten emails before from people doing videos since then. The first one I ever got was about 13, 14 months ago. And those people don't hold the sign up. And you can just kind of tell they're just reusing the same video over and over again. So here's a tool that's now being abused, which is so human, right? You know what they did was they did 10 of them and they go, this is too hard. Why don't I just do one and just send it out to everybody?
So Pat, the sign was different, but the video was the same, or was the short video different?
No, the short video was different because my name was actually they actually said my name in the video.
Okay.
So you know
So
what's
you were. Go ahead.
yo go ahead. No, you were getting ready to say it.
I'm just saying you were a very targeted prospect.
Yes.
Okay.
And it worked. I put that guy on Telebabble about a year ago.
There you go.
Yeah, so for him, it was kind of almost like a resume.
Right. It was kind of like, and this was the argument that this Barnett guy was saying Tuesday, was that we are designed as human beings to pick up a lot of visual cues. And if we're just hearing things, it's not as powerful. We want to see people's faces and we want to see those little micro gestures that people make and stuff like that.
Now, that piece I absolutely agreed with when he talked about humanity. You know, how we come to evolve over literally millions of years, and his comment that the written language has only been around for such a short time is spot on. So, you know, maybe not in this podcast, but another one talking about your colleagues. A lot of people are concerned with the so-called new normal. Are we going to go back to face-to-face meetings?
Right.
Again, I digress, but that would be a great topic to cover that.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we go back to face, I think it's going to be quite a while because I think a lot of people have been forced into all of us have been forced into doing meetings online, and they're doable. So I think that behavior has changed dramatically, and it'll be interesting to see what we come up with. I don't know that face-to-face is going to become popular again. I don't know. It might just be that we're used to something a bit easier, although it's difficult, but using like a Zoom or, you know, those kinds of meeting systems. So I think the jury's out on all of this. I think it's just so soon to tell what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think it's.
Depends upon the
I think
company.
it's too soon. I think it's too soon to guess.
I read a message yesterday that Twitter said all of their employees can work from home from now on till the end of time if they wanted to, just because they realize what's the difference? They're still getting work done, and now they'll make their office smaller as they figure it out a little bit.
Right, save on the overhead.
Yeah.
I think having offices, and I know Silicon Valley is just where I live. It's such a big deal to have like this monolithic Apple thing that looks like something out of, you know, Star Wars or whatever. But, you know, I think a lot of that was legacy management style. That they wanted people underfoot, even though the tech companies are, you know, supposedly, you know, pretty progressive with management, although the jury's out on that too, given the diversity problems they've had. But a lot of them have had. But I think that management is getting used to the fact that they don't need to have people underfoot because they can do so much from afar. So I think we're looking at a very different business climate. Unless you've got something where you actually have to demonstrate it in front of someone. That's a different product set.
Maybe I know I have a lot of past business acquaintances in the trade show industry, and I bet it'll be that when trade shows do finally come back out there, they'll be even more valuable because people will, they'll be happy to get out of the house and meet other people and those kind of things.
Oh, I think there's definitely that. I think the emotional toll that all of this has taken is tremendous, and I think it's a negative because people, we're social creatures. So I think a lot of people are feeling shut in, lonely. It's very, very different, and so I think there is an emotional issue going on with that. Now, how that affects the bottom line, that'll remain to be seen.
I've kind of lived this life for 2 decades, and I've been on both sides. It's easy for people to work together, doing work from home because they've already got the relationships. But as time changes and those teams change and people quit and people get fired and it's very difficult to build a cohesive team, non-located. I remember we worked with these people in Europe, and it wasn't until we actually got together and spent a long weekend, 3-4 days together, then the working conversations we had over the phone were so much richer compared to what it was before the meetings. So there still needs to be an element of that somehow. And I don't think people have fully recognized that because they've not lived through it like I have.
Good point.
My wife has this problem right now. She's hiring new teachers for next fall. If they're still teaching the kids remotely like they're doing now, which is a very real possibility, how is she going to get that teacher integrated into the school? How that teacher's going to learn how all the other teachers are? It's just difficult to do and say you should have a phone call with them or you should Zoom them, and it's just not the same as sitting around the water cooler.
So Pat, how do I get into my next company, and then how do I build relationships with my new team members and the culture and everything like that while I sit in my basement or backyard and don't have a chance to meet these people?
Well, you won't have a problem because you're outgoing. But
I think make every meeting valuable. I think that if you're bringing value and everybody is included, and it's a very inclusive approach you take in terms of collaboration, and people know exactly what they're doing, I think a lot of it can be done very well. But I think it takes more managing when you're virtually outsourced versus when you're there on a floor, for example, with people. You have a lot more influencing power right then and there, and it's spontaneous.
Totally agree.
To Pat's point earlier, I had partners in Europe, Latin America, and down under in New Zealand, and yes, I had built some relationships there. But boy, after I took all the time and effort to go visit them in person, it was like a steroid. It was like, dude, hey, how's that? That was a great time when we went and visited that volcano in Colombia. Story. How's your mom doing these days? That kind of stuff. That's huge.
Yeah, because it's when you visit another country in particular, and I lived in Australia for 23 years and worked in Asia as well. Look, it's the old fly in, fly out thing. People didn't think that they enjoyed the visit, but for the longer term and winning larger sales, sometimes those companies had to actually put roots in the ground, like in Sydney, and had to actually get offices there. So I think a lot of it depends on who you are and your product set. This is financial services, so we're we're so overloaded in the financial services industry with products. I mean, it was like people look at you when you fly in from the U.S. to Sydney. That's all very nice, but that doesn't mean you're going to win the deal. But they appreciated it. You know what I mean? So there's subtlety of that. So it depends on what you're doing and what you want to achieve.
I think, Mike, what you're going to need to do is you're going to have to take the effort because actually it ought to be the boss's job, like what Nancy said. Management needs to step up, and sales managers are notorious for letting the quota kind of run stuff. They're not used to like coaching like in other industries. So I think you're going to have to take the effort to, to almost build yourself a list and say, I need to call all the salespeople at least every 2 weeks, and just ask them what's working, what's not working, what are you doing this weekend, stuff like that.
Are you talking about sales management? Like managing other people in a team?
No, this I would be an individual contributor. So right now I'm looking for the next opportunity to come on board. How do you get things going type of deal? So, but no different. That's a great analogy to what I was doing before when I was trying to recruit and build a partner, a team, I guess, globally. So now, just like these guys could be across the street, but for all practical purposes, they could be on Mars because they can't go see them in person. But at least right now. But you build up that network, so when we do trying to get together, hey, now we can really jumpstart things.
The nice thing is that everybody is people seem more open because we're all in the same boat. Doesn't matter what we're selling. Doesn't matter what country we're in. Look, we're sheltering in place, down the street kind of thing. So people are pretty. I think there's a show of empathy these days about understanding, how things are working. So I think we get a better understanding. So I think if you go the extra mile, it's going to be noticed. And even though you can't go there, there's something you might be able to send.
Like a video.
Greeting card like a video. Hey, the greeting card industry is off the charts right now, apparently. It's gone up exponentially because people are sending cards again. I mean, how long has it been since people have been doing that?
I wonder why that is.
Handwritten as well.
Wow.
What? Yeah. Is that surprising?
Yeah, I'm going to go to Google Trends and check that out just to see if that's true.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, check. Go for it. I mean, I think it was Hallmark or somebody. They're doing. I don't think. Yeah. So I think it's wonderful, and it's like an old school thing. It's an old school thing, right?
Grandparents to the grandchildren. I've heard a lot of stories.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep, it is up.
As far as people working from home too, I've heard companies shutting down, some cable companies, the building because the productivity of their employees is higher than their home.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, my daughter,
But again,
they're getting more out of them. Right, that's the problem. We're not, it's that interactivity of, who said the water cooler chat? Somebody said it today, I don't know what I was listening to. And it's that not specific communication, but it's that social we don't have right now, which is hurting everyone. I think everyone's hurting from that.
Yeah, I don't know if this is sustainable.
So,
I think the jury's still out on this.
oh, does everybody think that way? Yeah, it's too early. Plus, it's like looking at the vaccine thing. Every day, somebody makes us try. But at the end of the day, it takes decades to do vaccines. So the jury's way out on that one.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's rewriting our own rules. And what do people who know us, what do they think? How do they want us to communicate? My clients decided they wanted Zoom because they wanted a certain type of sales training. And it had to be in a certain, and there were 5 different countries, and I chose Zoom, and it worked, and they loved it. But there was no option to do face-to-face. That's very different from what usually happens. But, you know, it forced me to get it together. And they loved it. They thought it was great. They loved the background, my virtual background. They thought it was wonderful. And I was just like, oh, it's not a big deal. To them, it was a big deal. So the moral of this story is ask your market how they want you to communicate. And always be ask the market. What? Say it again. And to be forced. And to be first.
No, forced. Forced as far as you said. You were forced to do it. And that's always the motivator.
Always. Right.
Good for you. Yes.
Who, me?
Market.
Yeah, ask the market. I've always done this for over 20 years. When I got rid of my offices a long time ago, I smoked the offices, right? And you know what? I asked my clients what I should do. And you know what they said? We'll pay you more to come and see us because we don't have the time to go to you. It's not interesting. And so I never had smoked the offices again. They always gave me offices in their office, right? So they loved it. You want an office? Sure, no problem. Because they were loaded with, you know, it's an industry that they were loaded with some people and offices. So space. It's fascinating. So I'm a big believer in ask your market what they think, and they love it when they're out. So you can have a great, you know, talk about being first. How many people do you know ask the market, right? Their market, right. Other than market researchers and, you know, doing big data thing. I'm not talking about big data stuff. But yeah, I think there's a lot of value in that.
People poo-poo this idea, but there's actually something to it. The customer is always right. They're the ones paying. And if they want to have you on site, you should be. If they want to have you on a Zoom call, you should be. It doesn't matter. You want chocolate? You want vanilla? Whatever you want, boss. Whatever you want.
You don't want to pay for me to schlep on a plane over to see you like the old days. I'm really dating myself now. You know, that's fine. And some require face-to-face right there. So it's just, you know, now we have so many different modes of communicating. It's up to us to make sure that they're getting what they need. Yeah, you're right. The client.
Yeah.
We're also the salesperson out to educate. So, you know, just saying whatever you want, I have a hard time with that. However,
Sorry, say that again. Educating.
Well, when Pat was saying if you want vanilla, I'll give you vanilla or chocolate. Well, what if they don't know what they want?
Usually they don't.
Options available. Mm-hmm. Right. And that's the difference between the male and the female sales approach.
Is it?
Say more. Say more about that.
Well, that's basically it. Is the gentlemen go in to make a sale, and I think women go in to make more of a relationship. I got a new headpiece, so that's why I'm like hoping you can still hear me talking.
Oh, I can hear you.
Oh, it's
Good. Good.
Working.
This is
But I think
fascinating.
that's an interesting. It
is, and you brought up a really interesting point about educating. And one of the great ways to win sales is to educate. Absolutely, hands down. It's well researched. And, I guess I read that in Harvard Business Review years ago, right, in HBR. And I've been in industries where the sales are so complex. Sorry, the product or the solution is so complex that you need to educate people, right? And through questioning and listening and answers and solutions, like you say, educating is a wonderful way to do that. And it's more time consuming in some respects, but it's also more lucrative to educate. You get a better outcome when you're educating versus telling this is my product. You know what I mean?
And then they'll open your video and look at you, whatever you're wearing or sign you're holding up, because you got a relationship, which is, that's it. In 80, the 80-20 rule in sales.
And I think a lot of it just comes down to chemistry. When you've got that relationship and you know, like when someone is eager to learn, that's a different dynamic than when somebody doesn't want to listen. They're really rushed. Okay, tell me what you've got. And I've done this to people when they call me and want to sell me something. No. I don't have time. Just tell me what you want to sell me and tell me how much. That's all you know what I mean? And it depends on the product, obviously. This isn't a complex technology type of play, but understanding what they want and how they want to consume it is so important. Pat, why am I talking again? Now I'm guilty.
Well, Nancy, Nancy used a very important word to me. Part of that, you also include questioning, which gets back to the analysis before educating. So you're educating based on what they're particularly needing and wanting first, and then you're educating.
And I don't think that we can assume that people are interested for the sake of being interested, because now that we have so many products and services in the world, years ago was different because selling like products from the 60s was very different than now, because we're so overloaded with products now. They're very hard to differentiate, and that's why those relationships, they last forever. They're more important. So asking the questions to build the interest and the relationship first and listen and doing all that, it's so valuable. And I think that we forget sometimes, not because we're not good at it, it's just because we need to be reminded.
I think it's about being in a hurry sometimes.
And now we're not. So
Well, and maybe that's better. But what I often see is with people that I work with is that they ask a few discovery questions. As soon as they hear a problem that they can solve, they pounce on it like a fly on sugar. And they go, I can help you. As opposed to keep going through the discovery questions, get fully out everything that every issue and every challenge they're facing and every aspiration they have in the future. Get it all out. Take your sweet time. Take 20, 30 minutes to do this. Get them to talk. Write all down all the things you think you can help. Then you say, I think I might be able to help. I'd like to walk through some of these things that you've talked about, and let me share how we might approach this. Because people...
And then go get some experts. So, and then, let me interject. At that point, you go get some experts that can go ahead and validate it. So it's not just you talking to the sales rep, but hey, I've got engineers and some other people. Better yet, get some impartial sort of thing. And I always like to say, look, I'm not sure, but I think we might be able to help you. Now, if you've done your homework, now you got their attention.
Right.
And I think that that's a really good point.
want to.
Slow down.
Invited to the next meeting. Slow it down.
Slow down.
And then get on solid footing. Do your research before and then after the meeting, and get your recommendations or whatever, or your engineers together to do a powwow. I mean, and then get something going. If you've got that kind of product.
Yeah. Well, I sell complex technology. See, Kat, this is why you got to do that program on the Challenger sale. This is exactly tied into it, man.
Well, I've been thinking about the Challenger sale during this entire conversation, because there's a notion here that despite how buyers treat you, secretly they hope you have the solution to all their problems.
Exactly.
They are looking for your guidance.
They would not take the meeting. They would not cut off the valuable time from their family, their work, their career, whatever, to talk to you if they didn't have a problem big enough that needs to solve. And you're right on. I mean, they could go and solve it themselves easily. This is a thing called the internet. But it's so overwhelming, they need somebody to not ask them, but to basically to tell them, hey, based upon what you shared with me, this is exactly what you need.
Right. You're more of a concierge.
Exactly.
Which is how I like to look at sales. I like looking at sales from that point of view.
Is that part of your title now, concierge?
Concierge selling.
That's beautiful.
That sounds like an awesome article, doesn't it?
There's some awesome articles on it.
No, I should write an awesome article on there. That could be the title of the book, Concierge Selling. Right.
Yeah, that's something I've been having trouble with is when you're setting up the context of the meeting. Either you're setting it or they're setting it, and you want to set it up as you're the concierge, you're here to help, you're the expert, and they want to set it up as tell me what it costs so I can get you out of here and tell you how stupid it is. And lately I've been pretty bad at setting the agenda and getting railroaded into that. Like, you're selling a thing, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. As opposed to I'm solving your problem, I'm here to help. And I think part of it is just the whole quarantine situation with having the kid at home and never getting out and whatnot is just exhausting me. And so I'm not firing all cylinders, but I'm finding I'm just getting stuck in. I'm reading off their scripts too much and reading off my own too little.
So what can we do to help you?
That I don't know.
That's a good
It just isn't enough.
question.
Earlier today, the Wall Street Journal had a live chat with 3 of their top columnists who are living exactly what you have, kids at home, trying to keep things together. And they talked about huge opportunities and they talked about huge obstacles. And you're right, we're in month number 2, going on month number 3, and they're exhausted. It was the dark kids trying to completely read this. There's no comfort zone left.
Well, I think and sales is already exhausting and draining, and it's an energy management game. Because you're calling people up and they're basically like, they're talking to you like you're the thing they found in the bottom of their shoe, and you got to keep your own sense of ego intact, and so that involves all the coping mechanisms to keep you up and functioning, and then suddenly you hit those with a big rock. And it's like, oh, yeah, keep doing everything you're doing in a different way with 6 new challenges on top of it. And with the new trump card objection that all your clients have potentially. Because they can just throw the COVID.
There's also advantages in this, okay? The more you know about your potential client, I don't know what product you sell or whatever, but this makes for rich relationship building. People are in the same boat, and if you know your potential client is also home with their kids, you can talk to them. I don't know what kind of sales you're in, so hard.
Yeah, we sell community magazines, advertising, and most of the businesses I'm calling are actually still open.
I heard
Yeah.
you the other day. Yeah. So this is very quick. It's a quick sale.
Yeah.
Okay.
In theory.
In theory, yeah. It's different. But I think empathy is the way to go as a strategy if you can maneuver that way. Right?
Yeah, I know.
Make yourself more memorable.
Yeah, and that's what I try to do, but it's keeping the conversation in that direction and not just sliding into more of a presentation transaction. I'm becoming less human in my conversation from fatigue, if nothing else.
If I recall, Michael, you had said that you were actually working on more deals per day using your current video process than you did before. Is that right?
In theory, I can. I've not been able to set up enough appointments to fill that many slots, but in theory, there's more appointment slots.
So I'm wondering if maybe you're just burned out and you need to work less.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely a burnout factor. So I think I need to. I tell my wife about it. We were texting, and she's like, "You know what that means?" And then in all caps, "You need to take a day off."
And you know what? What I'm finding is that people are exhausted. They're working so hard and so much more because they're not stopping to go to an office or stopping to go home, right? So there isn't much, and this has been a problem for a long time. This isn't new, but it's getting worse now because we just can't escape. I mean, my daughter has been doing 7 days a week for so long. And I understand, she just, that's part of the work that she does. She's in law and in an area where they're like 24/7, believe it or not. But the problem is that she's tired. She's bloody tired. She's exhausted. And I was thinking, geez, this is ridiculous. People are working so hard. My colleagues, they're just putting so many hours in. And it's because we can, because we're home. We're not getting dressed up as much. We're not traveling as much. You know what I mean? We're not doing as much social. So that time is really being compressed, I think. And I think we have to be careful of this. I think that burnout factor is really coming up for a lot of people.
I think there's a lot of companies that are hurting also, and so all the employees are trying harder so their head doesn't end up on the chopping block.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that also might be the term that comes to mind is crop rotation, which obviously is not crops, but it's spreading it out because instead of just making calls and pounding my head against that wall all day, I got to the point where I cannot call another person and ask them for an appointment today. I can't do it. So I worked on editing podcast files and finally setting up Libsyn. Thanks, Pat, for pointing me that way.
Here to help.
So I got it translated over to Libsyn, and so I worked on that stuff, which I feel guilty about because the core of my business is call people, make appointments, do presentations. But I realized it was not do presentations or work on my podcast. It was do presentations. There was work on my podcast or stare out the window. Yeah, you get to the point where I can try to work, but I'm going to make 6 calls an hour when it should be 35. And you have to admit that. Okay, I'm not going to stop.
Well, it's
trying to do
decreased productivity. There's a lot out there that's talking about decreased productivity. People are tired. They're also less motivating for a lot of people to be home. Just not as I don't want to say uplifting because that's not right. But you know what I mean? There's some motivational factor. There isn't that separation.
But I normally do work from home, but then I go out and have face-to-face meetings for half the day.
Yeah, we see that makes a big difference. I miss that.
And nobody I meet with is asking me to make them lunch.
You guys should go get one of those Marie Kondo or whatever it is. That woman, did you hear about that? She's selling tuning forks. So when you're done with work for the day, you take your $75 fancy tuning fork, you tap it, gives this nice, beautiful time, and that signals to your brain, okay, I'm done for the day for work, and it's time to put my personal time. For only
This is
35
Maria Kondo,
What Vargas.
right?
Yeah, Kondo. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
You know, most of us can't even sit down. And you mentioned you feel guilty if you're not doing enough work. You know, if you're, I think you need to sit down, like your family says, because you're the most important. If you're feeling bad or guilty, and who wants to buy from somebody with that attitude?
Yeah.
Hear it. And plus, I care about you more than I care about the sale, and so does your family. And another thing is there's so many classes out there right now on how to improve or how to meditate, which we don't even have time to meditate. We feel guilty about taking the class. You know, there's a song that says, I'm in a hurry to get things done.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're in a hurry, we're making bad choices. And most of my best choices are when I get quiet, when I throw my hands up, and then I'll have a moment like who to call next. We all know this. We all know this. When you're a young child, I mean, the rules are different. For sure. No guilt is my point.
Oh, I love that.
Not allowed.
I love that.
No guilt.
I love it. I decided that years and years ago that I wasn't going to be guilty with my daughter. I decided no more guilt.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't looked at it again. Yep, I agree. We just decided, you know, if it isn't good enough, it isn't good enough. So we start another
We're
day.
human. We're not perfect. Magazines are perfect. And putting unperfect videos on, I mean, everybody has compassion for each other now to make a lot of mistakes because we're all learning together.
Good point.
I want to throw that in there too. Right.
You're very insightful.
On the personal side, because I used to get the same thing. I used to get guilty, going for a walk or playing with a kid or whatever. No. That was taught to me years ago in the morning when like the night before, together my to-do list. You know, the old Brian Tracy thing. I have on the right side personal items. You know, mow the lawn, spend time with the kids. You know, pay a bill, whatever. And then I get that little sense of satisfaction. Hey, I clicked that off. You know, I took time to go for a walk. Okay. So now, now I get both of them.
Yeah, I think it's also giving ourselves permission to have a wider portfolio when we're home.
Yeah.
Wider portfolio of things.
And one challenge is, because when you're talking about checking things off, I love checking things off to-do lists, but because my business is more a matter of searching for a needle in a haystack, basically, it's, call 45 people to get 3 appointments. So there's not really a check off like, okay, I did this thing and I called this person because that action item wasn't important. It's bulk activity. And so it doesn't have the same satisfaction of, okay, I did this thing. It's, hey, I made 45 phone calls, which isn't the same as the more satisfying things that I do aren't actually correlated with the things that make me money. Like it's satisfying to edit those 2 podcast files so those can now go up, but that's not the thing that gets me a contract directly. Although hopefully it'll build my brand and then I'll get more, get more sales and all the rest. But the most satisfying things aren't theoretically the most effective things. And that's tricky.
It's tricky.
Yeah, effective things are so subtle.
You might spend some time on figuring out what inbound marketing ways. So instead of making the outbound calls, what can you do to improve your LinkedIn profile or the web page or things like that? That when people do come to it, they'll be more likely to work with you. There's a lot of steps you can take along those lines.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm pushing the podcast, and pushing it for more personal branding. Because with over 1,000 publishers in the company, and no one has successfully done this on an inbound basis. So,
yeah, I can understand. Yeah.
Because we're not a need. People don't know they have the need. They know they have a marketing need, but they think it's satisfied with $1 zillion social media sales and PR campaign, pushing people to believe that digital social media is everything they'll ever need.
Yeah, actually, Pat helped me answer that question when I was talking to him about how do I put on here about that everybody needs to learn how to do search engine optimization. He's like, well, nobody cares about that. They just want more customers. They want more leads. So spin your messages into them.
Right.
And that
And
answers those questions.
Stronger story.
Yeah.
And strengthen and practice the story. And all of us need to work on that.
Yeah. Which gets me back to where I'm burnt out enough that they'll get off the phone and be like, I didn't tell this story at all.
I have a suggestion too. So when you make your calls for the week, do you focus on a specific theme of a business?
Specific what? Theme, you said?
For instance, I'll say a daycare, since you're home. Do you only make it a game? These days I'm going to call a daycare and get into that groove of, because it is, you've got so much time to talk. You want to talk their language and build that relationship. Make it fun. Have a theme of a group of businesses you're going to call each day.
Because we're geographically local, there's actually not enough of any given category to really dive into one. Because there might only be 20, 15 daycares in the whole market. I also
It could be the morning call. Just to get yourself into their shoes and their flavor to prepare.
Yeah.
Good.
It's very easy to get stuck. It's very easy to get stuck in the means because we sell the means for the customer's ends. Like in the case of, like Bruce was saying, their ends is they just want more business. If SEO is the path to that, that's good. But if it's selling ice cream to get to the path that's good. If I giving away free ice cream, I don't know, whatever it is. And I think it's always
ads could be another means to the end to get more business.
Right.
So that's the story you got to tell.
Right. So it's important that you frame everything in that context when you're in fact that you should understand their industry really, really well. Even though you're not in the industry, you're in a different industry selling to that industry, but you have to understand how their clients think and how their customers think and be able to walk in their shoes. That's what makes selling such an interesting profession, because you got to know a lot.
You're good. You're good. I would want you on my sales team, and I would sell big ass priced items for all the work you do to make a big sale. But you are really good. Wherever you want to go, they're gonna be lucky to have you. Your name Mike?
Yeah, I'm Michael.
Michael, yeah, you're motivated. Maybe this is too small for you.
That's what I'm
This
thinking.
is a good time for you to go run a job. Don't waste away.
I think you sound like a Cracker Jack seller, and he sounds like he's going right to me.
Yeah.
And that's part of it too, because it's a great company, and we do great things. But then there's always that question, like, am I in the wrong place? Am I doing the wrong thing? And, but
you got time on your. We gave you permission to be human. Take a walk.
That's good.
Wow, you're good though.
see that. Yep. Oh.
Well, folks,
And I think a more complex sale. I'm not saying it's not complex, that's the wrong word, but I think a more considered sales process is something that you would be great at.
Well, I think that's definitely true because I'm an overthinker. I'm much more analytical, and so that gets me in trouble in most of the sales jobs I've had. Because if the sales process is just, if the sales process is put all doubt out of your mind and be like, this is the best thing for you, it's got to be, then I'm like, but it probably is. But then there's this, there's that, there's other things to consider. I'm much better if it's like, hey, let's just get in the weeds and look at the numbers, and I got some charts here.
Yeah. So
I just haven't been able to, never been able to find where that type of selling. They don't have the ideas.
say that again. What I did?
I said, if anyone has any ideas, there's
Sure.
know someone looking for someone who does that.
I mean, I think it sounds like it's time, and maybe I sound like because I coach clients, especially salespeople, but it sounds like you've got a heck of a lot to offer. And where do you deploy that? And I don't know your background, so I'd have to, do something like have a call or something. Call me if you want, because this sounds like something that you should be active, right? You should be actively looking for something different now. Or
Hospital equipment sale.
different industries. So you're talking about hospital equipment. You're in publishing, which you know is going a bit south, depending upon.
No. We're going ballistic. Our company is growing 20 to 60% a year, even now.
Yeah, you could relax some.
So look at the need, and maybe you take another move within the company. I don't know.
It's all good. Yay!
So Michael, I don't know, Pat, is this being too forward? Michael, if you want to give me a call, it's fine.
Okay. How would I get in touch with you?
Oh, my name is Nancy. Pat, is this kosher?
yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. My name is Nancy, Nancy Kazan, Kazan, and my number is 408-500-9200. And just message me with a couple of times or something. I'm on the West Coast. So I'm
Okay.
2 hours.
Yeah, I'll text. Yeah, I'll text you.
Behind. Sorry.
It's 2 hours. It's what, 4:15 now?
I am at 3:15.
Okay, yeah, 3 hours. 6:15. I'm in Connecticut.
Oh, you're in Connecticut. You're on the East Coast. Oh, I'm
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah, you think of Pat, who's in the middle.
reaching out to people is for all of us is really important. I belong to a couple of sales groups where we're really in contact with the changes that have come up in terms of not only how sales are changing because it's so dynamic, but also how we have to adapt. And therein lies a real challenge. It's our adaptation.
And credit to Pat for setting up this Telebabble, because prior to this, I'd always been kind of little island of the sales world. Whatever I do in my company, but I was never really. I'd listen to podcasts, so I'd hear dispatches from the world of selling, but I was never actually connected to salespeople as a tribe.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks.
And that's actually, and this is actually why I started this, because it's this whole notion of Seth Godin's book, The Tribe. If I can bring people together, and to a certain degree, I'm trying not to interject too much and to let you all chat amongst yourselves, then that's a very powerful thing. The community actually powers and energizes itself, and that's my goal for creating this Telebabble.
Well,
I think.
We appreciate it. I'm sure it's for everybody.
Well, if you want to, if you guys want to thank me, bring a friend. Bring a friend.
Sorry, say that again.
Bring a friend.
Yeah.
You got it.
Tell other people.
So Michael, I hope to hear from you and other people because the time is now, and we're all going through our challenges. But let's stick together. And sales has become a very noble profession.
It
That's
is.
the other thing.
It is a noble
From the
profession.
60s, it was not. It was not. There's videos from them, and they talk about the sellers. They're like black and white film noir. There's some amazing stuff. Well, now that stuff is gone. It's all about sales enablement, sales enhancement, sales strategy. It is a very noble profession.
Well,
You raised a great point, Nancy. It is truly a profession.
well, folks, it's time to move on. I actually have another call to get on in 12 minutes.
Pat, thank you so much. I just wanted to share one quick resource on the. I'm so glad we ended up with this type of discussion here. One quick resource on your original theme for the topic. Pat, you may know Steve Beck. But he's a trainer, more in the area of motivation. But the reason I'm bringing him up is he has done these 1 minute podcasts. He embeds them in his emails, and he calls them back shorts. So he's kind of got it set up so he does them every week. So he's getting pretty professional now. But there's 1 minute class. He scripts them out, so it's pretty nice. But his website is Beck Seminars, but it's Steve Beck, and so these Beck shorts, they just give you like I said, he's more of a motivational speaker, so he just tries to share to his readers something motivational, but it's that connection you're talking about, those subtle connections that you see in video that you may not capture elsewhere. So I just wanted to share that because I think it might give you a sense of what can be done with a short, a really short podcast.
BeckSeminars.com.
Beck, yeah, BECK.
Yep.
Seminars for Steve Beck. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I'll just give you a
Thank
sense.
you.
He's got a newsletter, and stuff like that, and they'll come into that as well. So, yeah. So I just wanted to, I think it might lend to the topic. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you, everybody. This was great.
Fun stuff. Very fun.
I'm a sales professor, so I just, I try to be that conduit from that perspective. This is great, so I really appreciate it.
And Nancy, I texted you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Great time.
We'll see you guys next week.
Next week.
Thank you, Pat.
Bring a friend.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.
Take care. Bye.
Yes.